Hello Zimbabwe, hello football fans. Welcome to another exciting episode of In Touch with the Legend. Yes, your favorite footballing show where we bring you a Zimbabwe footballing legend to come and share with us their footballing journey. As a group who are powering this show, my name is Alois Bunjira. Today in the house, we have got another legendary sportscaster, former footballer as well, club owner. Yes, we spoke. We had an interview. I can't call it an interview. We had a talk with his partner in crime, Mike Madoda, the other week, and we are here with his other half. You know, they call them Berry and Mike because that's like the brand. So we had the Mike. Now we've got the Berry in the house. Berry Manandi, welcome to the show.
Alois, thanks so much for having me. Let's do this properly.
Yeah,
properly. To everyone, that's the PE handshake.
It's a PE handshake. He is my junior. He was my junior at school, guys. So so yeah, the other week we had with Mike Matuta, exciting show that we had. He shared with us his childhood and everything. It was amazing. It was really amazing. So we are looking forward to a very amazing show with you again. But before we do that, people always want to know exactly where it all began. And welcome to the show again. And I would want to know, Berry Manandi. Who is Berry Manandi? Where did Berry Manandi come from?
Okay, well, before I start, I just want to acknowledge and thank you for what you do here. Listen, it's phenomenal that you are following the stories of various legends. I always knew I'd be a football legend. and you're doing a phenomenal job about it. I'm really humbled to be here, sitting in this chair. I can understand why Mike was here. I can't understand why I'm here.
No. 609.
609, we don't know. But thank you so much for inviting me and having me. And listen, Berry Manandi is a very simple guy. Born
to
at
you,
Harare.
Right? Simple to you.
Born at Harare Hospital in 1977, and that was just Harare Hospital was just around the corner from where we were staying in Southerton.
Okay,
near where Delta Beverages plant
where they were staying before you were born.
Where they were staying, okay. And then they brought me to where they were staying. And so Southerton was a very short time because at that particular time, obviously we were migrating into independence. There was a lot happening. My dad got a job at Woolworths. I know people think that Woolworths started in South Africa. No,
it was here.
And he rose up to become a line manager within the Woolworths side of play. So he was able then to buy a house for us on a mortgage, obviously, in Cranbourne. Then Cranbourne was like an upper middle income sort of neighborhood.
Papa in the middle.
Papa in the middle.
Upper class.
Middle. For us, for the blacks, Saga, it was an uplift in the way we were living, and obviously that created a lot of my formative years because I started going to school from Cranbourne. And I went to Alex Park Primary School, which is in Alexandra Park.
Okay,
and chirungu.
Because I got straight from even
exactly. Southern was just a little bit more than Cranbourne, but we got a slight uplift. Went to Cranbourne. But Alex Park.
Yeah.
Now at Alex Park, we did all sports. I think the philosophy back then for school was that everyone does everything. So you learnt cricket, you learnt football. In my seasons, you even do a bit of tennis and whatnot. So that at some point you would then decide, okay, I actually want to specialize in this. I remember around about grade 5 or 6 thereabouts. That's when they introduced rugby in schools, because rugby wasn't a big thing in
at that time.
There were certain schools that played rugby, but then when it became mainstream and everyone was doing it, it's around about grade 5 or 6, and we started playing rugby barefoot. But it now was always about football ever since.
Where did that come from?
It came from I believe my father, because he was a massive football fan. He loved Dynamos. He loved Liverpool.
Dynamos and Liverpool in Zimbabwe.
My man, it was insane. and so when we moved to Cranbourne, as I said, we were upwardly mobile. Saka, he bought a TV. My TV, So we had a black and white TV, and we started watching big league soccer.
Yeah, of course.
And it was a custom. My dad would not miss big league soccer because no potato roundup. What's happening in
my highlights. One feature game.
I even remember the billboard. So I would watch big league soccer, and Liverpool was flying at that time. Then I think it was I'm bad with dates, but around about 1980, 86 thereabouts. By 84 I was already a big Liverpool fan, but 86 thereabouts, Liverpool plays Juventus in the Champions League, and ZBC carries the feed. They advertised it to going to be screening.
But the Hazel Stadium.
Yes, that very game, that one.
We all watched it.
My man.
And it got delayed for some hours.
For
a long time because of the disaster.
And so when you go through, and let nobody tell you that I support this football club because it's from my area. Usually we follow success. So Liverpool was successful in the 80s. So in the 80s, we mostly followed Liverpool. And then the fact that we had our very own Bruce Grobler, who we only found out later on was Zimbabwean. Many people didn't even know that.
A lot of people didn't know,
it made our attachment to it even greater. Then, of course, there was the Dynamo side, whereby my dad would take us to games at Rufaro Stadium all the time. In fact, I remember one Harare derby, Dynamos versus Caps. My dad organized for the entire family. So my mom and the girls, I come from a family where we were there were 4 kids. My older sister, there are 2 boys in the middle, me and my younger brother Nesto, and then my younger sister. My dad organized for the entire family to go and watch the Harare derby. Now, the girls weren't football fans. Okay.
Of course,
But my mother, in her wisdom, decided, okay, I'm going against you guys. I'm going to be Caps United. So the girls were Caps United. We were
the guys were the Dynamos.
So throughout, no matter what we went to watch, whether it was the years of Vanna, Elvis, Choo.
So it was your father who influenced you to support Dynamos.
Me.
Just like Mike Madoda's father influenced him to support Highlanders.
Fathers are influential. They are very influential, and also, depending on what the first game that you watch is, usually it sticks.
It sticks.
And watching Dynamos in Rufaro Stadium, there's just something about it. I don't know about fans now who are beginning to watch Dynamos at the National Sports Stadium and now Barber Fields even.
They're missing a lot.
They're missing a lot because there was just something about Rufaro Stadium in Bari. I remember Tete wangu and we would park my dad's car there, and then we'd walk around. It's the other side, Kumsik. So we'd walk across and then come because it wasn't safe to park the car there, and all sorts. So we'd go, walk to the stadium, get inside, and watch Dynamos Football Club. So started supporting those 2 clubs. But on my own, I've always been. I think there's just an innate thing in me where I like to know how things work. I like picking apart things. So I would play with my friends. Like I remember on Mike's interview, you guys talked about the fact that we would play from sun up to sundown.
Of course.
We would do the same. But what would happen is that I would then think to myself, if I saw a particular skill, my favorite player at the time was Marco van Basten.
Oh yeah. And I loved Marco van Basten.
Mate, nearly every striker.
Everyone who wanted to score.
I loved Marco van Basten. And anything he would do, I would always go out and try and practice it and try and do it for myself. I remember watching that movie, Pele. Escape from, I can't remember what it was. They were in a prison and chi. If you remember, Pele did this skill. He lifted the ball over the opponents.
The opponent. Like somebody want to name us.
My man, I think nearly 3-4 weeks. Did you try? Many times. So what that does for you is that it makes you better.
Of course.
Every time, because now you're trying Van Basten, master of the volley.
Did you try that volley?
I tried that volley.
Damn that volley.
So you become better at doing little things that then assist your game. So stop and pass, generally anyone can do, but when you need something special, that's when it comes up. So
you can only be a special player if you do things that are special.
So when you put yourself in a place where you want to learn more about how something works, you generate a love for it, you generate an understanding of it to an extent. So I became like that. So what happened then is grade 6, I was playing in the B team at Alex Park. And then there was an injury to one of the guys. He broke his arm. He wasn't at home riding a bike. I can't remember what happened. And he was playing on the right wing, number 7.
Okay.
So then Vajanza Archie, today you are playing.
You're playing number 7.
So we go out. We
first team.
Playing a first team now first team, but I'm doing grade 6. Then there was this Ghanaian boy who was like an exchange student or whatever, Heinz Wisdom. He was the best player, and the 10, the top man, all of that. He was the most precious in the team, star player. So then game starts. You're a bit nervous because it's the first team, but then eventually you settle down and you start doing your thing. Unoza, my most vivid memory of that game was I beat a man on the outside, pushed it down the line, crossed it. Wisdom, and then he turned around. Bicycle kick. It's the first time I saw a bicycle kick live. Primary school. This boy was special. I honestly thought he was going to play pro.
But he never went anywhere.
He never went anywhere.
I never heard of any wisdom from Ghana.
Who was fantastic. Yeah. But Agarwa overhead kick. So I never left the first team. That's right. That boy the next year because he was in grade 6 as well. He never got back into the team.
Number 7, 2 years.
Number 7, Barry Manandi.
And you decided you were number 7.
So for the rest of my life, even those on Tamba Mabuza, number 7, I feel.
Yeah.
So and as a result, the love for the game and enjoying it so much, and football is multifaceted. That's what I love about it. There's so much that you can immerse yourself within football. That love just never changed, never fell away. So I think that's why it generated my love. Then grade 7 obviously comes around, and now decisions need to be made as to what school you're going to go to, and so on and so forth. I wanted to go. Alex Park, by its very position, those who know Harare, is close to St. George's.
Yeah.
My first choice, only choice, was St. George's College. That's the only school I was going to.
Yeah.
But money was getting a little bit tight, so my mom needed to make a practical decision. So I applied to St. George's. I was accepted. Unbeknownst to me, she had applied to Prince Edward.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you know how I found out that I'm going to Prince Edward? Tie. Yo, Prince Edward. Stripes in maroon and green. She didn't tell me, she didn't do it. And it was hung in my wardrobe. Wardrobe, so tie noisy, right? I'm a 1 out of 10. But
why didn't you like Prince Edward?
For me, it was cool. It was low end. It didn't have the vibe that I wanted. Dandrum salad.
But the vibe for the Georges. Georges young.
So then when I got to Prince Edward, that first day, now here's the challenge. I get to Prince Edward. I don't really want to be here.
Yeah.
I've made the horrible mistake here. On the Saturday before school, my dad used to take us to the barber shop here, Gumbara. Iripama flats by Mataka. It was just a shack. Blazi Irova. Ndaitwa haircut yangu ya kuchukua manje. I said shade. Ndaenda Prince Edward. I'm sitting, you know how in assembly, the Form 1 sat at the front.
Sit in the front, yeah.
Assembly goes on, Barnes aita zunzake, uyu, abaya. And Barnes was fascinating for me because remember, he used to wear that gown.
He used to fascinate me, yeah, that gown.
And he was like, he's flying, so trailing behind him. So I was like, this is fascinating. Firstly, we got a white guy as our headmaster, so yes! And also the singing that we did, we sang the national anthem and then we sang the hymns. My shepherd. You got Banza bye, my teacher bye. Prefects are saying
prefects man, we oraka manje.
Senior prefect Clint Joseph. Clint Joseph, colored guy. Asim kapai hey, you like this who've come to be for the first time, hey, welcome to this is the school,
yeah.
But you can't do nonsense here.
Yeah.
You stand up.
You know.
First day of school, mate. Stand up. What's this nonsense? I went into the toilet, I won't lie, I cried.
Yes.
Why have my parents decided? Why have my parents decided? Did you check out Denda moms? Please, whatever you do, I need to go and get this off.
Yeah.
But from there, I fell in love with Prince Edward School, and obviously it was vibe. It was 6 years of some of the best times in life, and the tragedy is that in Inika, I made a horrible decision when it came to sport at PE, because I didn't play soccer. I didn't play football. I played rugby. Why? Because it was the in
coming
thing.
From Alex Park.
Yes, it was the in thing. Rugby was more respected than football. As you know, there was a greater chance that you'd go and be a prefect if you played rugby.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I made a horrible error.
You had not discovered football,
and I'll explain to you exactly why that was.
We're gonna go for a break. When we come back, I want to know why on earth would a talented footballer choose to play a rugby sport that he was not even talented at? Why?
I don't know, my brother.
Okay, we're gonna just go for a break, guys. I hope you're asking the same question. We want to know why he chose to play rugby at school when there was football. And guess what? Prince Edward School football teams were flying also at that time. Never mind the Tigers. But we're just going to go for a break. When we come back, we carry on with the Berry Manandi. Yes, welcome back. We've got Perry Manandi in the studio. Yes, telling us about his football journey. But before we get into the second segment, please go to our Facebook page, like the page. Also go to our YouTube channel or like the YouTube channel and subscribe to the channel as well so that we can always interact with you guys. Perry, you chose rugby.
Yeah.
And you didn't know about football.
No, I knew about football, but it wasn't trendy. Again, I was very much a trendy guy. I wanted to be on trend
because the prefects were mostly rugby players
on the rugby side. Now analysis now here's the
but
challenge.
wasn't Clint water polo?
Clint was water polo. Yes, he was.
Wasn't he water polo? Wasn't he rugby? He was water polo, Clint, isn't he?
He was senior fed though. But remember, there was Kevin Steele, who was swimming, and then there was James Kutlengisa, who was rugby. In fact, the prefect's body was 80% Tigers.
Yes.
So,
I remember.
Having done my analysis, I said, no. Now, here's the challenge. I'm coming from Cranbourne, where I'm playing football sun up to sundown with the likes of Simbaka Tongera, his brother Batanai, Mnyaradzi Maviki. You have Marshall Gore, who's a team Zimbabwe in the United Kingdom. He's a Cranbourne boy. So we're playing a lot of football, but I'm going to school and I'm playing rugby. Fast forward a little bit. Obviously, my parents' marriage breaks down, and then we move to Glenview with my mother.
Okay.
Glenview again. I'm playing football now. Here's the kicker, and it didn't even occur to me. Here's what happens. Tashiko Glenview, Dream Salad. 14 going on 15. Obviously, I want to play football. I'm used to playing football. But then ku Chemans, there's a guy called Givi who's training the youngsters. I ask her, no, can I? She goes, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm salad because I'm salad. He's done a few warm-ups. Warm-up then was twice around the field. Then you get selected into teams. In Manje, because in the salad, then she give you all right, fine. Chuya pinda no ningrika.
Ine kakadaro no muzitamba pese.
Then she van pinza mlink. Big mistake because and akatanga uriwaritsi and now but salad to a point whereby Givi akati, listen, you need to go. Ndiroenda newe mswe sarati taura nemabereki vako, tell your mother kuti tuenda mswe sarati, tuenda Railton. Who trained at Railton?
Caps United. Oh yeah, yes.
Ndiroenda newe ndauti makocha anokuoneka.
Oh yeah. Oh, wati wakaenda ku Glenview.
Glenview,
Glenview Glenora team recaps manje.
Saka mvachadza ndoenda newe. Vanada po. To me it was massive. Caps United.
Yeah.
Ndaenda Givi Bauya vataura nemacoach ndiri mufana wangu zvikanzi ngamire nevamwe apo. Always ndamira and mukapa me Railton andini mamune ma 3/4 stones ndikuona tofana manje tikubva mageto twangwara tutora matomba tukujagila matomba ndikati ma1 panapa ndopaatangira but tapinda ground time it was
you still remember some of the young boys that were there?
I really don't, because I didn't last there.
Okay.
I trained with Caps for about, I'd say 6 weeks, maybe 2 months if we stretch it. And then my mother intervened. So I was barred from going there, but I had actually made the team. I was, I was part of the crew, of the group in the.
I think you should have played probably with Nana Tsipa. Yeah, that time.
Probably.
Anna Thomas Weswe.
Probably.
I think because I think that was the crew. Younger under 13,
under 13, under 14,
around that time. Yeah.
Sarah, I was barred from playing, and then also that sort of entrenched the belief you would bora panadiri.
Where?
So I'm still doing rugby, kuchkoro, and so on. And look, to be fair, at high school, I achieved the goal. I became a prefect.
Yeah.
I became head of house for Wilson House, and so on and so forth. But I wasn't really.
So did you get there through rugby?
I think so, because maybe because I didn't excel at rugby. I played thirds.
Did you make Tigers?
No, I played thirds. I wasn't great. I was just and I was a hooker because I was small. So I could.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. Why does this dude choose rugby?
Let me skip backwards slightly.
So Jubilee was going to pin
Jubilee field. Before I was a prefect.
Yeah.
That was been the prefect.
There's this Jubilee field at prefect, right? When was not ground, you were not allowed to get onto that field if you were not a prefect, or if you didn't play first team any sport.
Exactly. So that's
you were not allowed to get in there.
So I'll skip backwards slightly and say this: when we left Glenview, staying at my aunt's with my mom, she was working for cabs. So vango wana scheme yokubasa yiku vaivaka dzimba ku Hatcliffe.
Okay, yeah.
So she got one of those houses. We were in Glenview for about 2.5 years, and then moved across once the house was finished to Hatcliffe, Tashika Manjiku, Hatcliffe. Then now I want to play again. At home I play football. At school I play rugby. Ndukuchaga team. So there was another field. There's a field in every ghetto. There's a field.
Of course, yeah.
Paitamba, boys, and it looked organized. So I went and stood. First day I just stood and watched. Nobody spoke to me. It just looked orderly. Then this is I came to know Hatcliffe United. Wala Wala was the nickname. Saka, I'm about 15, still very small, 15, 16. I'm still a very small boy. Then the one time I gathered up the courage, and then I spoke to the coach, and I said, kumbro, again, all right, just wait. So these guys are grown. They're in their 20s, early 20s. Because this is now again, this is why I bemoan the fact that our area zone football is not playing. Hatcliffe United area zone, Borrowdale area zone.
It was a strong league.
It was very strong. It was very strong. I would compare it to probably D2 plus or D1. For now,
because we used to have players coming from the area zone in the Premier League straight kind of at that time.
So they used to train Kuma 4. So I knew by the time I get home from school, I've got enough time to do my homework. No ground, don't know wala each train. First day, didn't get a run. Second day, didn't get a run. I'm going to coach with Archie. Pinda. I was tiny, but the tank. Die. Tikanzwa iwe tulati uyene team Saturday, and we used to travel in a pickup truck. I wasn't in the team yet, but Ganzano is going to travel with the team. But to travel at Itamba pa Inzpa Wood, Helensville. Tashika pa Wood. I stayed in my clothes. I didn't change. Next week now, I'm in full training now. So now it's not just no. Now and what are they calling me? Mzalad. Food. Mzalad because 16, hey, 15 and a half, 16 years old. And then if you picture a player breaking through into Division 1 at 15, it's major. It's huge. It doesn't happen. So I was already playing, but again at school I'm still playing rugby. So when I look back now, I'm killing myself.
You did.
When I look back now,
because your development could have been accelerated if you were playing That's what we did. All of us, we were playing club football outside,
Yeah.
and then we still play at school.
Exactly.
So it was like a lot of football.
A lot of football.
Yeah.
And all I was getting was that I was training with Walla Walla, and I started getting. I hear this concept here, combon. Okay. Vanhu vaitambira kumamind, you become a legend within Hatcliffe. Ndichinotenga chingwa chete ka twafana who were smaller than you, 3, 4.
So that's the beauty of it.
It was really something. So I'm a guy who I don't like adulation. Just going to the shops was a major mission. But he's playing rugby.
It's cool. What a shame.
Again, nyacho zubatwa na momzunza autamba bora futi but number one, you have to pull back, because also I was in an exam year, O levels, so now ndakuita ndichibizira manje, and I would say to my little brother Nesto, don't sell me out. Ndichitraveler neteam ndoti ndine sports kuchikoro no sports kuchikoro ndikuenda ku area zone
Walla
Walla. So that was sort of the high school, and I think football becoming my first encounter with semi-pro football, and it was a phenomenal experience. I remember the likes of Kimpton, the likes of Grigas. We had a player who was playing for Black Rhinos and was playing for us as well. Like you're pointing out, to area zone, straight into Premier League. I lives on Mshambods. I used to play for Black Rhinos, and then he'd come and play. Phenomenal. He had a wand of a left foot. I used to look at him and just marvel, just how does he do that? And I would then try and model my game on that. But a left footer and a right footer are very different. So that was that moment. Went across, obviously, A levels, prefect at Prince Edward.
How nice was it? I was never prefect.
Okay.
But the privilege is...
Yeah, you're underprivileged.
Yeah, the privilege is that prefect got at Prince Edward. It's like you were teachers.
My man.
You were like members of staff.
We and our prefect's body, 1996, was one of the legendary ones, because we put the school in shape. Everyone was in line. You had left, but everyone was in line. I had exactly. What we did was that the punishments were handed out so flippantly that at times we even forgot who we punished. So fast forward. Now we're running a business, and we appoint a lawyer, and now he represents us and whatnot. And then at one point he says, I don't like you. You punish me. So be careful what you do at school, because it may come back and haunt you. But it was phenomenal being a prefect, just to answer your question.
Break time,
we got sandwiches. Sandwiches would come into the prefect study. Tea, coffee would be available for us. Tantina mugs edu and they were washed by Form 1s later on. We got so many sandwiches, would leave them behind, and we lived the life. I won't lie.
We used to look. I'm like, but what is so? I was not admiring that much. And I go to, but these guys.
No, you are admiring.
I need to back to one. But another time, remember, I was saying on Roma Scotch pie.
Right.
Yeah, the Roma Scotch pie. But then what else? But boys,
it's just
like room name. You gonna win my sandwich.
It's a problem here. Factionalism prefect's body actually, because remember my prefects angai a fundraising year, end of year dance. Saka taitengesa ma buns, ma pies and whatnot at break time. away from the tuck shop.
Away from the tuck shop, yeah.
Now, Mario started to be misappropriated, man. My challenges in the prefect's body. But at least it was caught very early, and Barnes managed to extricate those that had sticky fingers.
So after Prince Edward,
So after Prince Edward, I didn't go to varsity. I did adult learning because I went straight to work. I did an internship with Hallmark Public Relations, and we were doing school at the same time. So it was a work and school program. That was for 2 years, and then qualified through LCCI because that was the program that we were doing. So you were working on public relations and then also learning it. So it gave us a nice grounding in what we do today.
Yes.
Then obviously after that you would then be either offered full-time employment or you'd be told to famba. There were some people in our year who were asked to move on, but mercifully we managed to qualify, and that's when the wearing of suits started happening and so on and so forth.
The suits started?
Yes, the suits started to be powerful.
Yeah, dude loves suits.
And then what happened is that PR, public relations, was never a big thing at the time. But then people started seeing, these guys left school 2 years ago. And the only people I wore suits early in life, if you remember, the guys doing articles by talking about briefcase. We looked exactly the same. Yes, the accountants. We looked exactly the same. So it created a stream of guys coming through from St. George's, from Prince Edward, going into PR. And PR started to get a bit of a lift as a result. And then we opted to now expand our scope and obviously go into marketing as well. I moved on from Hallmark into a company called MacMed. Was doing their PR initially, and then the marketing portfolio was added. So at about 24, I was already sitting in exco meetings, was already a senior manager in a fairly big company that had operations in Zim, in Zambia, and South Africa, headquartered in South Africa. Then our boss in South Africa misappropriated funds. It was a listed company. Misappropriated funds, so it affected us here, and we then had to do quite a bit of management of stakeholders, investor relations, and that sort of thing. So again, you grow up very quickly. But now you've now got a bit of money. Walla Walla is still there.
I was about to ask.
Saka now wafika masutu but now wanika ka wherewithal. Now you're sort of funding the team here and there. I think Tikaroa Red Lions. Red Lions was a big rival. Red Lions was a new team now. Red Lions. Pakaita Mdara Ningi was a farmer, and he was a member ku Harare Sports Club.
Where?
If you hang out at Harare Sports Club a lot, you know there's Red Lions, the little bar.
The little bar beside them. Oh yes,
Mdara McElwain.
Yeah.
Decided, right, I'm going to start a team. Yechi, my groundsman, Nimachichi, Epa Harare Sports Club. So it was the money team. I think it gave us a hell of a time in the league. Red Lions, now because Red Lions was the moneyed team, we needed to have an incentive here. And $20 was a lot, guys. They said 20 abachi. Let's beat Red Lions, but I think in maybe 8-9 encounters we beat them maybe twice, but one was a cup final. So that was very good.
We're just gonna go for a break. Let's go for a break. We pay the bills, then we'll come back with Keno, and I'm really interested in this funding thing. That is, guys, just gonna go for a break. Berry Manandi in the house. Yes, don't move away from some questions for Berry Manandi. Please just type them, type them in the comment section so that we can read them and respond to you as well. Like we always say, if you know other things about Berry Manandi, you know, that you would want
don't write them.
to know. Please just type them in there also. But don't move away. We are back in a moment.
Introducing the self-service portal. Nyaradzo has launched its very own self-service portal. This platform is available to Nyaradzo clients via the Nyaradzo Group website. Now you have your policy information readily available for your convenience. The self-care platform enables you to view your policy details, lives assured, policy plan type, and contact details. Edit your information, email, residential address, phone number, view your payment history, and outstanding balance. You are now able to make payments using mobile money platforms, EcoCash and One Money. You can get updated Sawira Berudi change rates. The portal also provides a summary of the product offerings under life insurance, which includes the 6-pack, Skull Pack, and SIP policies. You can get a quote on the different policy types and apply online. Visit nyaradzo.co.zw and enjoy autonomy in your interaction with Nyaradzo.
Welcome back, Betty Manandi in the house. Yes, Betty. We it wala wala.
Yeah.
You want to finance here?
No, that's it. Financial. That was all kind of incentive here there. Because you know, at least I was earning at that stage.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, look, but I think what
So what do you know what was suited?
Okay. My jeans. That's not my tracksuit at that time.
Okay, yeah.
But then Red Lions by Agapinam League, yeah, we are in a tracksuit in a it was a well-funded team. And then the first year, I think we were very competitive now at Taifambizan. The second year, what McElwain then did was that he bought the best and the brightest in Hatcliffe United because we had just pipped them to the title.
Okay.
So you can say, no, team let me take you, my
players because deep.
Matora Kimpton, our keeper, our first choice keeper. Matora Grigas, Gregory, Matora Levi. What you want?
Vaitambira kupi para sports club.
Vaitambira Helensville. Because what they wanted was that Vaida support area. Harare Sports Club was seen State House. Helensville. But training Harare Sports Club.
Oh yeah, okay.
They took, I would say, maybe 60% of the good players in our team. That's when we had to do a rebuilding, but I was never going to be the same. I think we finished 6th in that season, and then I realized that and also I was now moving out of Hatcliffe because I was now moving into town in a flat. Obviously, you're working now. So me and my friend Parkville got a flat at London Lodge. We started staying at London Lodge, but I still had the bug. I want to play football. So opposite us was Travel Plaza. Okay, Travel Plaza, company Enzi Landela Safaris. I'm not sure if they're still there. Landela Safaris then had quite a few guys who worked there. And I came to find out that Landela Safaris had a team. When I asked a few questions, where do you play? Vaitambira PE. It's a place I know well. Every Saturday, it was still social teams, right? So, and then as always, it always starts as social. But due to the competitive spirit that then arises, you then look for a challenge. Guys, I think I'm trying a league. I think I join here. So I pampane ka league ka Tambwa in Harare, the Harare Social Soccer League. Kankane ma sports clubs, Italians, Lusitanos, and all sorts. So we joined that league. It was competitive. So we didn't have the skills, because these were just boys that had come together. We didn't have the quality to compete in that division. So Landela Safari's team didn't last very long. But now, since we were known in the league, I remember me and Elton Chemwa. Elton, Elton. We were recruited by Italian Sports Club.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Italian Sports Club had a very, very good team. No, I lie. We were first recruited by Belgravia. Belgravia, Ichirun's Postals.
Oh, yeah.
Dynamos.
Dynamos.
Then we were called in by Belgravia. Belgravia, actually, I remember, ndakaita my doubts, do I want to join this team? Because we used to train at night, there were lights, because we were working sort of as amateur. Trained at night, games were played on Saturday. On Saturday, Tashika, time to play. We go in dressing room, you remember Kitke Manchester United kankane umbro down the shoulder, so it was red and then it had a black stripe and then it had umbro.
Oh, that one,
logo coming down here, coming down here.
Yeah.
Do I get Kitiacho? Inini manje ndikata andipfeke zvinhu United ndakatozongopfeka zvangu, and eventually, once you wear the kit and once you're playing, the kit doesn't really matter. But yeah, played at Belgravia, then pampa tuna transfers kamuligi so we were bought by Italians. Elton and I. Now Elton I figure number 11. In the number 7. So we used to have a joke here, we used to play in attack. We would say, let's open them up like a 7-11. So we started getting into playing regular football again. But you want to be competitive. The teams that we're playing for were to an extent, and we wanted more. So later on, we went to join another moneyed team, because always my teams are very well funded. There was a team that was funded by Spa, Athenitis Spa, called Hellas. Came into the league. Dara Pavlo poured money, and then Taitambapa Hellenic Sports Club.
Okay.
Tuetaka join manja. I'm serious because
Hellas
yakatora a lot of players who were coming out of the Premier League, who were either over 30 or were disgruntled or whatever the case may be. The likes of Tafrazo Takawira, who was playing at Flame Lily, I think. The likes of Salim Milanzi, who was coming out of Mura Action at the time, and so on and so forth. So now it became very, very interesting. I remember at one stage, I was my strike partner was, you know him as Marshall, I know him as Nyasha Munetsi.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
At that stage he was 17. Yeah, he was a striker and a prolific striker. That's why I think even when he plays in midfield now and he gets a chance, he's able to tuck it away, because he's a phenomenal. He's one of the best finishers I have played with or had occasion to be on the same field as. So a lot of my footballing career, in inverted commas, has been semi-pro, social, amateur, but the love for the game has never changed and never waned.
So where did Albarak come from?
Okay, so Albarak came from you know what age does. So we're playing at Hellas and you're getting a little bit long in the tooth. The owners of the team want to keep refreshing the squad, so you become a little bit surplus to requirement. So you start getting pushed into the second team, but you still want to play competitively. You never get old in your head,
of course.
So having joined what was then Buddy Boys, Econet actually had a team in the league. I joined Buddy Boys, where I played with God knows Murira. He's probably I don't know why he went to right back now. He's a phenomenal number 6. He's a
very good holding. Dynamos used to play him there at times,
and that's where he can deliver results. So having gone through Buddy Boys, went to another team, Young Oyega 306, which is a weird name. I said, you know what, Davita journeyman manje in this league. Let me let me see if there's any opportunity for me to join something that's a little more serious. So I met this guy called Musa. He had a team. He's a Muslim. He had a team called Al Barak. To join Al Barak and then I remember I was remarking to Mike, because Mike would come watch games and whatnot.
Which Mike?
Mike Madud.
But you hadn't told us where you met Mike. Because he told us, so we want to verify.
We met on set.
No, we want to verify.
Mike and I met on set. The story he told is absolutely nailed on.
Okay.
And you know what?
Yeah, we want to verify.
The truth is, when we met on set, it was instant chemistry. Instant chemistry. In fact, Mike was producing the show. I was presenting with Steve Vickers, Siemens International Sport, and I had more banter with the producer than I had with Steve Vickers. So when he then opted, okay, look, Steve Vickers has Shabuda, I need to get in front of the camera. It was instantaneous. We both had a history of, and when we began to talk, we realized that our histories were actually the slightly the same.
Some Jamaican involved.
We realized that our histories were very similar. We both watched Transworld Sport, and it shaped a lot of what we did. Gillette World Sports Special on TV.
Gillette was the sports show.
Glenn's Bolts,
TV.
the rugby. We had the same passion. The Cricketer magazine, because if you remember in the library there was the Cricketer magazine. So a lot of what we experienced, albeit separately, was almost the same. And so the chemistry was instantaneous. What challenged me when we were now on set and even on radio to this day, you work with him. Mike has his demand for excellence is just like,
I know,
So it challenges you every single day to always deliver the best. And what it's done is,
and you also said you were challenging him, so it's
he's
quite
lying.
interesting.
He's lying. I can't believe he lied on camera. So what it does is it makes you consistently try to push for that. He can achieve that level rather easily, but some of us have to really work hard to get. And what that has done is that in every aspect of life that where we work together, we have to aspire for a higher level, whether it's from a marketing perspective, whether it's at Golden Eagles, whether it's on ZFM Sport. Everything that we do, we have to push for that level, because my standards. And my if something has gone, you'll be like, so So we met on set. I think we've had the great thing is that we have good chemistry on set, but we also are good friends. We are able to tell each other the truth. We're able to hang out. I don't think we need broadcasting for us to relate. So I think that comes across.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions also, obviously, that we could have asked, but obviously they're common. Between you and Mike about Sportsline, and what happened with that show, and 100%. What happened with you at SFM. You were together.
He told you about us being fired.
So guys, for you guys who want to know more about what happened between the two of them when they met and everything, I suggest that we also get the link to the Mike Maduda's show, so that we can actually catch up with some of the things, because they are really common between Mike and Barry.
In fact, what you need to do is watch the Mike Maduda interview first, and then watch this one second. And then that'll clear it up for you.
That will clear up a lot of things. So we're talking about Al Barak. So
went there, and then I said to the guys, I just want to play. They said, we know you in the league, we know your quality, you can deliver, you can score goals, and then they welcome me into the team. But as always, you look for opportunities where you can contribute.
Yeah.
So, started contributing. We're still in the social league. Then I remember, like I was saying, Mike would come and watch games and whatnot. And one thing Mike would marvel over is the competitive nature of the Harare. Then it was now called the Harare Super Soccer League. The competitive nature of it, the players that were on show in that league. And he would always remark and say, you know what, some of these teams can play at a higher level. What came out of the HSSL, Herentals actually progressed from that Super Soccer League into Division 2, Division 1, and now into the Premier League. And then Al Barak opted now, okay, let's pursue the same
let's join the league
trajectory. Let's join Division 2. We joined Division 2. We got promoted into Division 1. And then
you actually won the league, and
we got promoted into Division 1, and then we started fighting relegation out of Division 1. But I think that was largely because, you know what, football, sometimes you have to make decisions. You have to make decisions sometimes quickly, and sometimes it's too quickly, but you'll make mistakes. It's like any football game. No player probably has a perfect game. You're going to miscontrol, you're going to mistime a tackle, you're going to do something. So administration is exactly the same, but you have to make a decision. I think we delayed a decision that we needed to make around our technical team for too long. And then it took the last 8 games for us to survive relegation. When we survived relegation, I think Musa, who was the progenitor of the team, and my relationship was at cross purposes.
What was happening?
Perhaps maybe he was, kuneka ufungirano, so he engineered and manufactured this whole thing. He even came up with a proxy buyer for the team, who he introduced me to, a very well-known football administrator. And then I said, you know what, it's okay.
But were you interested in the how far invested or how far interested were you in the team?
At that stage, I think we had realized, I got wisdom from Mike. He's a big sounding board, and then another guy called Happy Chiswini. And they both said, is unreal. He's lying. He's not selling the team. He just wants you out. So, and it turns out, in hindsight,
what were you at that time in the team?
They made me chairman.
Oh yeah, that's why.
This is not power a chairman.
Oh yeah, okay.
The power actually sat with the partner. Now look, I can say this because Musa and I are good friends. We're water under the bridge and all sorts. So ultimately I walked away, and then as the season began, the team has been rebranded. It's still in Division 1, still under the same ownership.
Same owner,
Ainauthengiso. So I said, it's okay. And then that's when we came up with the idea to say, look, we need to do our own. And with the trusted lieutenants I pointed out earlier, said, no guys, let's set up this thing, and we called it Golden Eagles. We said Gondo Harishaya, we need to espouse.
What was that about? Gondo Harishaya.
Gondo Harishaya.
Where was it coming from? Did you derive it from something?
We were talking to one who is a military man, and he pointed out, if you know support unit is, people think that we took the payoff line here, support unit. Support unit is actually Gondo Harishari. Okay, it doesn't choose. Okay, so he said that in conversation, and we thought to ourselves, that's a pretty cool thing. But we want to espouse the tendency Akuti whenever we go down. You know how they say Gondo kana rapotsa niyo nonga kana marara. Saka Gondo Harishai. And that's what we always try to infuse in everyone who is part of the club. At no point must we ever get to a place where we say we give up. It's been said before, finances are a big thing in football, but they mustn't be everything. It's the ideas that are more important, and I believe that money follows ideas.
Yes.
And that's how we try to live at Golden Eagle. So that's where that came from. And then we started now shaping this thing. Started in Division 2. We signed a contract with Ellis Robbins. We're in partnership there. We maintain their infrastructure. They allow us to house and accommodate the club there. We also accommodate our academy. Our boys are on scholarship. We partnered with the Victory Adulam Foundation. Zef Shamba is a partner in the club as well. And so his foundation...
Who is Zef?
Zef Shamba.
Zef Shamba.
He's our vice chairman.
Oh, okay.
He's also a partner in the club. His foundation then funds the scholarships for the boys.
Okay.
And so it becomes a marriage made in heaven. We worked very hard and tirelessly on relaying the main pitch at Ellis Robbins. And we said to ourselves, and we agreed that, guys, we must set a standard where we try to achieve global best practice. Even if we miss and we're close, it's going to be better than what we have presently. So we went for the best pitch, and the national team came and trained there. FC Planet.
Did they pay? Did they pay you guys when they trained there?
Sorry, why would I divulge that? We were in partnership with the federation. Let me put it that way. We were in partnership with the federation. We ourselves, we ourselves didn't demand money. We said, look, it's what we demanded though is that our team, our boys, would have access to the national team, and then we played a couple of friendly matches with them, and we gave them a good run. We gave them a good run, Kadewere and Akama, all of that. So they've been onto that patch.
It's a brilliant feat.
I mean, we started. We worked tirelessly through COVID, and we're very proud that throughout COVID we kept our players were paid throughout the COVID period. We sat on Zoom calls with guys from Portsmouth Academy, guys from Orlando Pirates, formulating our club playing philosophy, our principles of play, and how we do things. And so look, it's been an exciting journey, because with those experiences and everything that you do, you're learning every single day, and you're improving every single day. So it's been a wild ride, and we truly believe that our goal of being the first club to win the CAF Champions League will be achieved.
Do you have a year, or like by a year we need to win the Champions League?
It was going to be a 5-year plan. However, obviously that's been delayed. Two things: COVID, number one. Number two, we missed out on promotion last season, that moves things down the line. But the goal, the objective doesn't change. What changes is the timelines. That's what's changeable. It moves. You can shift time around, but the objective must be achieved.
But for the big dreams, Mike spoke about the big dreams and the vision and everything. If Golden Eagles now gets promoted into the Premier League, are we going to see you guys playing at Rufaro Stadium, National Stadium, and they already congested Rufaro and National Sports Stadium?
Okay. Look, we can't divulge too much, because then I'll get shot by Mike when he sees me, because he runs our commercial department, and the commercial department has worked absolutely tirelessly to achieve a plan that will see us not have to share space with those clubs.
That's what we want to hear.
And have a home of our own that competes favorably with global best practice. There are things afoot right now that we hope we'll be able to announce in the next sort of possibly 6 to 8 weeks, and go from there.
Kondarishai. Here we go. The gold and black. Who started with the colors? Where did the colors come from? The colors.
The colors.
Who supports Kaizer Chiefs here?
The colors are a blend, because I support Kaizer Chiefs. Okay. Mike. So it's a blend. It's a blend.
Nah, I think you only dragged Michael.
But those are colors that we felt
beautiful colors though.
We felt the colors suit our aspirations, and then also, I mean, don't forget that the name of the club is Golden.
Golden.
So it stands to reason that when we sat in the boardroom with the Zef Shambas of this world and Mike Madodas, we opted and decided, you know what, yellow and black, guys, and that's what we went with.
Hey, we look forward to seeing our Golden Eagles winning the CAF Champions League.
You know what that does for us?
Yeah.
It assists everyone in the club to know that when we play Chegutu Pirates, when we play Pan-African Mining, PAM, when we play Dynamos, when we're in the Premier League, that is not an end in itself.
Yeah.
They are just another hurdle on our journey towards our goal.
Yeah.
And the sooner we beat them, the sooner we get to our goal.
Yeah.
So having that North Star in the club helps us all to stay focused. And some people will then ask, okay, but it's a finite thing. You win the CAF Champions League, then what? Well, first and foremost, we go to the Club World Cup and we make a big splash of it. But when we come back onto the continent, we do it again.
Yeah.
So that's the idea, that we are all working towards something, so that every little step we take today matters.
Yeah, and I think a plus that I would want to see from Golden Eagles. From Golden Eagles, I'm a big fan. Producing the best players in Zimbabwe. The professionalism that I see at the club. I actually can see that they are going to be brilliant players that are going to be coming through.
And the academy is really something that really drives it makes our blood rush, because things that are happening here are great. The development team has worked tirelessly and very hard for 2 years without playing a single friendly match, without playing a single game on the boys that are in the academy. We've now joined the Harare Province Junior Football League, and in all the leagues, barring our under 12s who are sitting in 6th, in all the leagues we're in the top 4. So we're very proud of that at the moment, that it's now headed in the right direction.
Of course,
playing the sort of football that we want to see. The first team is obviously still the priority. We still need to be there, because what it does, it creates a pathway for our academy boys as well. The under 18s the U18s can look at and say, I want to play in the first team. The U16s know why they're doing what they're doing, because they can go to other clubs, but ultimately they want to play in the Golden League.
I've got one of my friends on Facebook who asked the question that, are you guys, because he knows your club, the structure and everything, and the development structure. He was asking, this is his question that I'm throwing at you, that he was asking about, do you have synergies with clubs in Switzerland, Belgium, and which he thinks the club needs, so that you can actually have those kind of pathways that you were talking about as well.
Okay, so we're working on those. I told you earlier, our playing philosophy, principles of play, were developed in tandem with the Portsmouth Academy in the United Kingdom, obviously Orlando Pirates, and we are developing other partnerships as well, which, because they're in development right now, we can't sort of state those names, but those two certainly who we work with, I can talk about. But we have that in place to say there must be a pathway into the elite leagues for our players. But you see, you mustn't run before you walk. And we always, even if you look at the content that's created by our marketing team, we only produce content when it's ready for consumption. So you'll see very little content on our academy, because we're perfecting things at that level. You'll see a lot of content on our first team, because we believe that it's at a point whereby it can be consumed. So you'll see a lot of things that are in development coming to you. When you see something put up as a Golden Eagles product or an asset, it's been months, years in development. Before it's actually seen in public.
And one of my friends, last but not least, he says he wants to see you one day at Ziva House.
Oh, okay. One day is one day, I suppose. and I feel humbled that people think that we could probably do that, but there's a lot of work to do at Golden Eagles, and we want to see that come to fruition, and we'll work on that first. And support whoever is accommodating the seat as the president of the federation. We hope to work very amicably and closely with them in developing the game, because it's our game.
Do we have a vision one day to get there?
I won't say that. What we have a vision for is to be the first club to win the CAF Champions League, and then we'll take it. Let me give you an example. Patrice Motsepe. He was always one of the luminaries in South African football.
Yeah.
He made it his life's work to win the CAF Champions League.
Yeah.
He won the CAF Champions League.
Then where did he move on? Want to see you one day. We want to see you one day. Good man, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much.
We really do appreciate and
really enjoyed it.
your deep football history, your ambition, and the example that you are setting in football. For those that haven't seen Golden Eagles, they need to visit Ellis Robbins, watch some of your games, and see one club that we know play football with billboards, touchline billboards. It sounds funny. You might laugh, but this is one club that I know in Zimbabwe that has got its own billboards around the field, professionally done and everything, and we don't see that. Even Premier League, in the Premier League, we only see one Kasolaga, and that's it. But well done. You're doing great. I think clubs that want to be professional, I think they can actually come and copy what you guys are doing, even structural wise. They also need, because we have got some clubs in the Premier League that don't even have junior structures.
I think we can learn from each other. We can learn from each other, and
they're doing that. But there are some clubs where you don't learn anything from. To be honest. To be honest, we don't have to get into.
You learn in every situation.
Anyway, Berman, thanks for coming. This is In Touch with the Legend. Guys, we've just run out of time. That was Manandi from Columbus, also from ZFM Stereo. Like we always say, you catch us on ZFM Stereo. I work with them, Barry, Mike, and Chris, and our producer Sean. We are always on ZFM Stereo. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Actually, it's 5 past 6.
You're forgetting the news.
I'm forgetting Mother Mamombe. Yes, I'm forgetting Matt. Yes, guys, we're always on CFM from Monday to Friday, 5 past 6 to 7 p.m. if you want to catch us. But that was Berryman, and in the studio, my name is Alois Bunjira, and Nyarazo Group was powering this show. Let's meet again next week when we bring you another Zimbabwe footballing legend to come and share with us their football journey. For now, we are out of here. Ta. Cheers.